Hello, and thank you so much for joining us here. I'm Netta Iranpour. Here at CBS 8, we are working for you, and we are getting to the bottom of problems you've asked us about, and we're looking for solutions. We want to begin here with an unwelcome surprise for many San Diegans already drowning in debt. You may have noticed, but water bills are a lot higher than what you were previously getting. CBS 8's Steve Price working for you and discovered the city of San Diego adjusted sewer service charges.
The city of San Diego is proposing huge water rate hikes, but even if that passes, they won't take effect until January. So why are so many people reporting spikes in their water bills now? Working for you, we asked the city for answers.
I just thought I used a really lot of water somehow. I thought maybe the sprinklers got a leak.
Jenny Rose's latest water bill just jumped by $250, and this isn't a time when she can afford to throw any money down the drain.
Money's really tight right now, so not a good time to raise rates.
Jenny is not alone. Check out these next door posts. My water bill just went up by $80. Just got my new water bill. It jumped up by $100. And this person's bill almost doubled to $488. Taking a closer look at the bills, we discovered most of the increase was here, the sewer service charge, which you noticed too. Sewer service charge shot up from $51 to $165. Working for you, we contacted the city and they confirm sewer service charges were adjusted July 1st. They say your rate is based on water use between November and April. And because we had an unusually dry winter, customers used more water for landscaping. Now they're paying the price for that with a higher sewer service charge. But here's the thing. Even if you stop using water, your current sewer service charge won't change because it's locked in for an entire year. And remember that proposed rate increase I mentioned earlier?
These increases are designed to ensure our systems remain safe, reliable, and financially stable.
They could cause your sewer rates to jump another 31% over 4 years and your water rate 62%. Final approval from the full city council is still needed before that can happen. A public hearing is scheduled for September 30th. Working for you, Steve Price, CBS 8.
And now in less than 2 months, most SDG&E customers will see their bills increase, and that's because of a new line item. So SDG&E is calling it a base services charge. We are told it will be $24 for most ratepayers. Working for you on this one, CBS 8's Alex Cheney talked with the utility company and a nonprofit about what the changes now mean for you.
Yeah, that's right. A CBS 8 viewer reached out to us about an email she received from SDG&E about a new basic services charge that will appear as a line item on your bill. I spoke with the utility company. They said it's an reallocation of funds and not a new charge. However, a local nonprofit disagrees.
This utility tax, we don't think it's going to be welcomed by people once they see the impact that it has on their bills.
Dave Rosenfeld is the executive director for the Solar Rights Alliance, a statewide nonprofit network of 150,000 solar users. He calls the base services charge a utility tax, and it will make electricity more expensive for millions of Californians.
On top of every single unfair thing that SDG&E seems to get away with. Yay for transparency, but they're just being transparent that they're basically robbing consumers in a different way.
In May 2024, the California Public Utilities Commission approved a restructured billing system for residential electric customers, guided by California Assembly Bill 205. It adds a monthly flat fee to customers of California's 3 largest investor-owned utilities, PG&E, Southern California Edison, and SDG&E. All customers statewide will have to pay the base service charge of $24.
It's really, really disappointing that the legislature didn't really stand up for ratepayers and at least put some sideboards into this thing, because just nothing good happens over at the CPUC. The utilities almost always get what they want there.
I asked SDG&E about the base service charge, and they said in October, as part of state legislation and a recent decision from the California Public Utilities Commission, we're implementing the base services charge, a monthly reallocation of existing costs and not an additional charge. This change is designed to make energy bills easier to understand while supporting California's clean energy future. Through this transition, Commission, we remain committed to delivering affordable, reliable energy with the transparency our customers expect and deserve. SDG&E customers on the CARE or FARA programs will pay a lower base services charge. The rate applies even if you're a solar customer and you can't use excess generation to pay for the fee.
What we think is really going on is that the utility just wants to lock in a steady stream of funding from customers to pay for their gold-plated spending.
We'll now wait and see what exactly changes on those bills as we head towards October 1st. Working for you, I'm Alex Cheney, CBS 8.
A rundown barracks building and former rec center in Liberty Station, leaving the community with questions. Who owns the properties and why are they not being maintained? I mean, look at this. CBS 8's Abby Black has been working for you to get answers on this.
Take a look at this old barracks building behind me here in Liberty Station. The windows are boarded up, the paint's chipping everywhere. There's also another abandoned building here in Liberty Station. We're working for you to find out who's on the hook to clean up these eyesores. Get It Done reports of encampments, vandalism plague this former Marine barracks at the Old Naval Training Center in Liberty Station.
But this is pretty decrepit. It's lovely real estate right on the water.
It's such a stark contrast to all the beautiful buildings and stunning bay views that Liberty Station is known for.
There's a couple other buildings around here that are fairly derelict and decrepit.
Working for you, I checked out another abandoned building that's not far from the other one. It's here on Cushing and Womble, and it's surrounded by a fence. And when we show you a closer look, you'll see that eyesore is an understatement. A viewer reached out to CBS 8 after we covered a fire here in March, wanting to know what's the deal with these abandoned buildings. While poking around, I met locals who only know these buildings as run down.
You just get used to it, right? It's just part of the landscape.
I went straight to Liberty Station management, who told me these buildings are part of the Old Naval Training Center. The city took ownership back in 2000 and manages the NTC properties.
It should be fixed up. It's supposed to be a bike commercial thing, I think. That's what we heard.
This Point Loma resident heard correctly. After some back and forth with the city, a spokesperson says the San Diego Bike Coalition had planned to build a bike hub here, but recently asked out of the deal. Once that's official, the city will look into tearing it down and turning the area back into usable park space. Same story with the old community center that's burned down. They plan to demolish it too, but timing's unclear since they need contractors and are not sure about funding or permits yet.
I'm sure they could build something marvelous there, but we don't know what the holdup might be.
For now, as you can see, shattered windows, boards everywhere, graffiti, vandalism. It's not a good look.
So hopefully they'll do something. These are an eyesore.
Working for you, Abby Black, CBS 8.
Summer break is over for thousands of local kids. Coming up next, how to combat back-to-school colds and flu. Yeah, 'tis the season. Plus, rumors are circulating on social media about the future of this popular Claremont shopping center, what the owner of the land has to say, and why it may be bad timing for many neighbors. As most kids are now back in school, well, so are the germs. They're spreading around. We are working for you on how to prepare for the increased risk of illness now that class is in session. Cases of whooping cough have doubled compared to last year, with more than 9,000 cases reported. That's nationwide. Measles making a troubling comeback with nearly 1,400 cases across the U.S. this year. Here in San Diego, county leaders reported our first measles case in an unvaccinated teen who recently traveled abroad. County leaders say our vaccination rates have dropped below the 95% threshold, and that's what's needed for community protection.
It's a really high vaccination rate to have that protective herd immunity.
And as flu and RSV season approaches, doctors stress the importance of vaccinations, good hand hygiene, keep washing, and then keeping sick kids home to protect others. Is the Goodwill in Claremont being forced to shut down to make way for a huge housing complex? Have you been to this shopping center? Well, rumors are circulating online that this popular thrift store and several other businesses in this shopping center are being kicked out. CBS 8's Steve Price working for you to get answers from the owner of this property.
This is the Garfield Shopping Center. It's located on the northeast corner of Balboa and Claremont Drive. Some of the stores have been here for decades, but right now their future and the future of newer stores like this Goodwill are in jeopardy. SoHut has stitched together a faithful customer base over its 45 years in Claremont's Garfield Shopping Center. So word that the entire center is closing is creating a hole that shoppers fear can never be mended.
Devastated. I've been coming here about 30-some years, and I'm a newbie.
Christy McGuire and Patsy Kellogg have heard about the rumors, not only SoHut being kicked out, but also Goodwill, Bridge Thrift, Discount Pool Supply, all replaced with hundreds of housing units.
The rumor is it's going to be a big apartment building, and it's going to be pretty crowded on this corner. When you think about the high school and however many units they're going to put up here and the one-lane road over there, it's nuts.
The plans are also making the rounds on Nextdoor. The entire Goodwill Shopping Center is going to be torn down and replaced with 600 apartment units. The Post has generated over 100 comments, most against it, like this. Awful. The traffic is already horrendous at that intersection. But there are some supporters. If you want to reduce homelessness, build homes. We need more housing, and this is a far better solution than all those ADUs on steroids in single-family neighborhoods. Working for you, CBS 8 reached out to Claremont Rental Properties, which owns the center, while we were told that nothing is imminent and that no one has been asked to leave. They didn't deny that plans for a housing complex are in the works.
I would feel kind of sad if they tore it down because I feel like a lot of people like going to thrift stores.
For now, businesses are operating as usual, although at least one owner admits they are actively looking for a new space. Meanwhile, the future of SoHut is hanging by a thread.
It's one of the best places on earth. It really is.
I spoke with a senior who was shopping here today, and she told me she understands that San Diego does need more housing, but she also told me that seniors like her on a fixed income also need affordable places to shop, like thrift stores, and she hates the idea of them going away. In Claremont, Steve Price, CBS 8.
Still ahead here, a working for you success story, how some hobbyists who were once grounded can now spread their wings. Welcome back here to our Working for You special. Now, have you heard of this number, 811? Well, calling 811 before you dig is a simple step that can save lives. This past August 11th was 811 Day, a day designated to raise awareness about the importance of knowing what's underground before you start any digging project. Now, this is a simulation, SDG&E simulating a gas leak and fire at its Skills Training Center last week. Crews trained to handle real-life gas emergencies. San Diego Fire Rescue responds to hundreds of gas-related calls every single year. They say not only are the incidents dangerous, they are entirely preventable.
All the utilities are buried underground, and especially the gas. And so if you go down and you actually puncture it, it starts releasing the toxic gases out into the environment, which are hazardous. And once they find an ignition point, explosions can occur.
Yeah, you don't want to hear that hissing sound, right? People are urged to call 811 at least 48 hours in advance of any digging for any size project, even if you think it's a small one. This is a free service that sends experts to mark the lines and help you avoid an emergency that could put your life and your property at risk. When a popular remote control flying club was forced to find a new airstrip, they called our Working for You team right here at CBS 8 for help. Jeff Zevely went back to Valley Center and learned these pilots, they're back in the air.
When we ask for the community's help in the Zevely zone, it's always nice when we can stick the landing. In 2022, the Palomar RC Flyers asked us to help them find a new place to fly because their longtime airstrip was getting surrounded by new construction.
Well, you got us a field.
I'm so glad we could help you. Doug Abel, the club's treasurer, shared the good news.
Thanks to your stories here, you helped us to find this field. People came out and they said, hey, we'd love to have you out here.
Out here is Valley Center. on 435 acres owned by the Spanish Valley Ranch. It's so neat when we do a story, and I think, will anyone see it? But this one made a difference.
It sure did make a difference, absolutely.
Steve Gebler, the club's past president, says a new airstrip makes his plane want to do the happy dance. Now, do you have that move in you too?
Absolutely do not. No. I broke that years ago.
The Palomar Radio Control Flyers Club started 70 years ago.
Clear takeoff.
The club helps local charities and nonprofits and can't wait to share the joy of flying in Valley Center.
Gosh, it's unbelievable.
Current club president Don Davis says they have 12 flying instructors.
Bring it over that way a little bit more.
Teaching the next generation
It's been fun so far.
how to spread their wings.
There you go.
This group, they really are generous in their giving.
All types of aircraft are available to fly for all types of pilots. The Palomar RC Flyers are looking for new members, guys or girls of any age. And they want to show off their new airfield at an open house on Saturday, August 16th. You can bring your family out, learn how to fly, and enjoy a free lunch.
Down the runway low.
So if you ever want to act like a kid again, how old are you?
29.
We found a club nice enough to share their toys. When I tell you they want to teach you how to do this, I'm not joking around. I'm flying a drone. The Palomar RC Flyers. Something special in the air. Oh boy. Anybody want to see Scott Hall get a haircut? Raise your hand. In the Zevely zone, clipper number 2 coming your way. Jeff Zevely, CBS 8.
It was like a camera standoff right there. Your online shopping habit could be costing you more than what your neighbors are paying. Consumer advocates say it's all because of a practice known as surveillance pricing. That's when you're charged based on your personal data. Consumer watchdog President Jamie Court says companies will use data like where you live, how often you shop online, and how much you spend while doing so.
You a price based on that data, and their algorithm determines how ready you are to buy a product. And if you're more ready, they charge you a higher price. And if you're less ready, they'll charge you a lower price.
Wow, how do you make it appear less ready? Experts say there are some ways to try and avoid surveillance pricing. That includes using a private web browser, clearing the cookies in your search history, and checking the price on multiple devices. But those same experts admit those steps won't stop the practice completely. Lawmakers here in California and 4 other states have introduced bills to set rules around surveillance pricing. And that is going to do it for us. So remember, if there's something you want us to look into, go ahead and email us right here. There's the email workingforyou@cbs8.com. So glad you joined us today and have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.